Welcome back to the studio. I'm working on this painting of Provence. Just a quick recap. I'm working on this. This is going to a collector who lives in Germany. And she's visiting her sister in a couple of weeks, and she's going to be carrying this back on the plane. So we're going to have to wrap it to protect the painting. So what I'm doing in order to make sure that it's completely dry is I'm painting this in alkyd oils, which that is a product of Winsor Newton, and it's a quick drying oil paint. And these are, just had to go pick up a tube, these are called Griffin Alkyd, and it's made by Winsor Newton, and it's totally compatible with regular oil paints. It mixes exactly the same way, but it dries a lot quicker. And so I'm doing that so to ensure this is totally dry, because again, once it's dry, we'll have to, for her to take it back to Germany on the plane, we'll put a sheet of bubble wrap on the face of the painting and cardboard to either side, that then she can stick it in the overhead compartment on the plane. As you can see, I've done the mountains, the ocean, and you can notice on the mountains, the furthest mountain away is bluer. That makes it recede. Cool colors go back, warm colors come forward. As the mountain ranges come forward, this one has more purples in it. This one starts getting into the greens and purples. So each layer is successively warmer. And then the water is ultramarine blue plus a little bit of white and mud, which is 2 parts of ultramarine blue and 1 part of alizarin crimson. So that's ultramarine blue plus a little mud plus white in the back. That's duller than this here, which is phthalo blue plus white, and with a little bit of ultramarine blue mixed in. Coming forward then, this is phthalo blue plus white. And I added just a tiny bit in here. This very light portion has a little bit of phthalo turquoise blue, and this is the color. And this is regular oil, but I mixed it with my alkyd white so it'll dry quickly. And so that gives me just a really nice bright turquoise blue right up in here. And that light coming in behind the dark trees helps to give the painting distance. Gives a feeling of distance. So now I'm going to paint this lavender field. Back here I'm using a mixture of dioxanine purple and ultramarine blue and white. This again will make it bluer, so it goes back. The dioxanine purple, as I come forward, is a brighter, redder, and so that will come forward. But I want the back part of my field to be bluer. In fact, I'm going to even use a little bit of ultramarine blue plus white back here. That just really makes sure that we want that's a rolling hill. We want that hill to feel like it's going up and over to the base of those trees. So that blue back here, just a little bit, just makes it feel like that's going up and over. Now there's going to be a palm tree coming up in front here, and then more of the poplar trees right there. But we'll have some of that field showing through. And you can see on these poplar trees here, I left them lacy so that you can see the ocean back through there. You can see that light. And that, again, helps give the feeling of depth. And that light draws your eye back into the painting. It helps you to travel through the painting. Because what you want your viewer to do is to be able to visually just place themselves in the painting, or I guess really mentally place themselves in the painting so that they can just wander through it. Jack came up with a great term that I love. He said, you want your painting to have wanderability, or wanderability, as he used to say. And what it does is it encourages your viewer to mentally just walk through your painting. Now as we come forward, I start using more of my dioxanine purple. And you can see this is my dioxanine purple plus white. And you can see it's a richer, brighter purple, and that comes forward. I'm just kind of mushing that color around. That's a real technical term. Again, that's my Jack. He was the one he was the namer in the family, and he came up with all sorts of neat things. Well, that's been since he went to heaven about 3 years ago. I guess July 15th will be his 3rd birthday in heaven. But anyway, since then I've been the namer, so it's been quite a learning process for me to start coming up with names for paintings. He was so good with words, but I do pretty good. Not as good as he did, but here we come. Now I'm starting to get the feeling of the rose. And this is a bright brush. It has a square end, and it's very versatile. You can use the corner to make small brush strokes, or you can use the flat, broad part to make larger. And I'm just I'm indicating where the rows are going with the lighter mix of this. I love the lavender. Looks kind of like giant rows of purple caterpillars or worms just kind of going over the horizon. Oh my goodness. This painting is based on one that I did before. I showed it in the video where I was sketching up the villa. And we were on a cruise, and an artist that Jack had been helping online for quite some time was in Marseille, France. Actually, she lived, I think, in the town of Arles. I'm always not sure how to pronounce that, in Provence. And so she came and picked us up, and Pixie showed us some wonderful places. And this painting, my collector saw one that I had done originally called Sunflower Serenade, and then and I showed the picture of that in the blog where I did the sketch of the villa. But then we kind of decided it'd be fun to add ocean. It had just fields in the background. So this ocean is based on a sketch, the fields and everything. When we were traveling with Pixie, we went to Cassis, and we came across a little area on the way there, and just fields and fields of lavender. Let me show you a picture of that sketch. So this is based on that. When we travel, I like to carry a sketch pad and just sketch. What we'd do if we were on a cruise, we would, instead of going on any excursions, we would just hire a taxi. We'd kind of research where we wanted to go before we went, and then we would just hire a taxi and tell the driver we were artists and that we wanted to go these specific places, and if I yelled stop, I mean, it was like, okay, let's stop right here. And Jack would take pictures, I'd sketch, and the fun thing about it was that many of our drivers, we'd make sure we had one that could speak somewhat English, because we were not real good at foreign languages. Our drivers would then tell us about neat places to go. So it just was, oh my goodness, we discovered some really cool places. Because on a cruise, the problem with an excursion is you're in a huge bus and they won't stop for anything. And you see really cool places and cool things you'd like to sketch or photograph. And sorry, we're on a time schedule. So, a few times we were almost didn't make the ship because it was, we'd get there just as they were undoing all the lines to go out of port. Debark, I guess. No, debark is getting off. I guess, anyway, leaving port, sail. They were getting ready to sail, and we'd come running back, and we had pictures and all kinds of sketches and goodies, and so it was lots of fun. But you can see how all of a sudden that's looking like my field of lavender. And again, these are just mixes of dioxazine purple plus white. And here's that dioxazine purple. I don't know if you can see. It's Dioxazine purple. And again, this is an oil, regular oil, but since I've mixed it with the alkyd whites, it will dry quickly. So there's our lavender field. I have just a tiny bit more to do. I have a little bit more to do to it to finish it, but that gives you, it shows you how I get those perspective lines in there, and you get the feel of that hill rolling over. I thank you for watching my YouTube video. Please subscribe to my channel and also visit my blog. I show the complete step-by-step process of this painting on the blog, and the link is in the description below. The address is also in the final frame of the video. And today, just take a minute to tell somebody that you love. Tell them how much you love them, how much you appreciate them, and just give them a great, huge hug. So you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and thank you again.